everybody, I'm Laura Trump coming to you from Studio 45 at Trump Tower in New York City. With mounting national security challenges, President Trump is fighting harder than ever to secure our border, address growing military and trade threats, and stand up for freedom and justice. Joining me with a Trump national security update is a former CIA analyst and a nationally syndicated radio host, Buck Sexton. Buck, thank you so much for joining us again. We love having you on the show.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
So you recently traveled to the southern border to assess the crisis there yourself. What did you see? Tell us about the experience you had there.
Well, I think it's really critical to get down there so you have some firsthand experience if you're going to be somebody who's really involved in the issue. So I've been to San Diego border crossing in the last few months to see really how the wall has helped there. And now in El Paso, it was just for the migrant crisis issue. And the truth is that right now we have a de facto open border. If you arrive with children or if you're an unaccompanied minor, if you have been told, as a vast majority of those crossing now have, that you can qualify for asylum, all you have to do is say the following things about credible fear, you will be released in the country. The system is so overwhelmed that within 48 hours now, most people who arrive with children are being released in the country. So this is a way of skipping around the normal legal immigration system. It also is a tremendous strain on resources that Border Patrol has to spend to make sure people are safe. It means their national security mission, their drug interdiction mission is suffering dramatically, and the cartels are getting richer off of this. So it's a disaster right now. There's no way around it.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it is a crisis. And actually, the U.S. asylum system, as you are pointing out, is actually helping to fuel this crisis. With the Democrats refusing to work with the president, Buck, how do we fix this? What do we do here?
Well, there are problems because it's not just the Democrats who are intransigent on this. You also have the what I call #resistance judiciary. And really all it takes is one federal judge right now. And usually they happen to come in the Ninth Circuit, but they could be elsewhere, that will decide that there's a nationwide injunction. So anything that President Trump tries to do, as he has been, to address the crisis gets shot down by these immediate legal challenges. And that makes it really hard because when you have executive authority essentially being hamstrung by what's going on with activist judges, and you have Democrats who, quite honestly, just want to process these people more quickly. They don't want to stop them from coming, which is a big difference in what the goal is here. There's not a lot of good options. So, I mean, the president's trying to get as much attention on this issue as he can, but it's going to require some additional actions. It's going to require from the president himself. I don't think Congress is going to do anything on this. I don't think.
No, they haven't done anything so far. Why would they start now, right?
Yeah, and for Democrats, all they want to talk about is family separation and how they're the good, nice people that want to bring in more to our nation of immigrants and all that other talking point stuff. Meanwhile, I mean, this is a crisis. They lied about it being a crisis for months. Finally now, because we're going to have over 100,000 just last month alone, illegal entries in the United States, it's obviously a crisis. You know, the administration's trying. I see what they're doing. They're right. This is a crisis. They were right on the wall before that and the need for the wall. But it's going to get worse, unfortunately, Laura. I think it's going to get to the point where we're going to have over 1 million people illegally cross into the country this year.
Yeah, it's really scary. Listen, the good news is that the president will continue to fight for this. This is a man that, as we know, does not back down from a challenge. And I think he knows better than anyone how detrimental this will be long-term for our country if we do not address this problem. So, listen, it's not easy, but I feel confident that something will eventually happen here with it because, again, this president is fighting for us and fighting to fix this problem every single day. All right, so this week, Benjamin Netanyahu was reelected as Prime Minister of Israel, while President Trump declared the Iranian Revolutionary Guard a terrorist organization. What does all of this mean for Israel as well as for peace in the Middle East, Buck?
Well, you have Netanyahu now poised to be the longest serving prime minister of Israel ever. He'll take the title from David Ben-Gurion in just a matter of months. It's an affirmation of, I think, what a lot of people have been saying for a while, that Netanyahu, his version or his view of Israeli security, both internal Israeli security and for the Israeli interests in the region, and as a key American ally, that is reflective of where the vast majority of the Israeli population is. They don't want to go back to the old days where, pre-wall, by the way, they had infiltrations by suicide bombers, and they were living in this constant state of terror because of all the jihadist organizations right on their doorstep. So Netanyahu's security vision for Israel has won. The IRGC designation, which I know Israel is very happy about, Netanyahu and others are happy about, this has been a long time in coming. I mean, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, and specifically the Quds Force, which is the foreign operations arm, does a lot of the covert foreign operations on behalf of the mullahs. This is a group that is sponsoring, assisting, training some of the worst regimes across the Middle East and some of the worst terrorist organizations around the world.
Well, we know this president means business, and he's seen these things happen, I think, throughout many, many years and been frustrated. Like, I think a lot of us in this country were with things like you're just explaining. So hopefully the right thing will happen here. Obviously, people need to be held accountable for the acts like this. All right, let's move over to Asia. South Korea President Moon just visited the White House. A third U.S.-North Korea summit is expected, and a trade deal with China is pending. But give me your outlook for U.S. interests in Asia. How are we looking over there?
Well, I'm very hopeful because the president has certainly shifted the conversation and put us in a position to win. Now, that's not the same as winning, as we both know, but you're in a position to win on these issues, which you weren't before. I mean, on the issue of North Korea, people say that we were in a stalemate with North Korea. That's not true. We were losing ground against North Korea. If you look at the full scope of their nuclear program, their missile testing, the situation, the threat was getting more severe over time, not less. And time wasn't on our side. So the president opening up these lines of communication and being willing to walk away from that second summit, right, where the North Koreans weren't willing to deal appropriately with us. You got to be in it to win it. President Trump is in it. And I think that there's the possibility that you could get a breakthrough here in that third summit. We're all hoping for that. The whole world, I think, is hoping for it. And then on China, the whole conversation about China as a trading partner, as an economic rival, and in some ways economic partner too. Obviously, we do a lot of trade with China. This had been a conversation that was a long time in coming. The Chinese have been cheating and acting badly in a lot of ways. So the president has sat down and said, look, you guys are going to knock this off or else there's going to be consequences. They've had tariffs against us for a very long time, and their economy has gone from, in roughly 1980, $70 billion to today over $7 trillion. I mean, the rise of it has been meteoric, and they haven't been given the kind of pushback that they should for what they've been doing. They've been getting a free ride off our backs for a long time here. But when you're dealing with authoritarians abroad, you just got to wait and see.
Yeah, anybody's guess is as good as the next. However, I do know that